I don't know if I'm making too much of the holding this team to 52. Virginia Tech did miss a lot of shots and shots that were open, but I thought Iowa defensively on ball defense was better. I thought they contested shots well under the rim without fouling. We saw Lucy Olsen stay pretty disciplined. I believe her final count, I do have the official box score now, her final count for the game, she was called for just one foul. So that's huge, especially when you're going to be called on to play 39 minutes. Hannah Stolke played 39 as well. She was called for just 2. Those are the types of numbers you have to have. This team just does not have the proven depth yet at those 2 key positions, whoever's handling the ball and who's running the floor. Tonight, what we saw was a nice kind of give and take between Iowa's post play. You have the athletic running ability of Hannah Stolke in the fast break. And then you have an Addison O'Grady who she's limited. Nobody's going to deny that. But with her size and I think the skills that she's developed, they may look simple on the court, but positioning, holding off her defender and being able to catch that pass over the top from either Kylie Feuerbach, Lucy Olsen, Sita Falter, and that's taught by Jan Jensen, their post coach, and that great staff. I just was real impressed with kind of the balance of what we saw tonight, even though they didn't shoot the 3 ball very well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the big takeaways tonight, too, was just how clean those lineups were, like you kind of talked about with O'Grady and Stolke on the floor. I think it was something in previous years with Addy that they've been kind of nervous to go to just because Addy can be kind of very up and down. You're not exactly sure what you're going to get from her from night to night. And there were a lot of games last year, as you know, that they went to that lineup with Stolke at the 5 and they turned the game into a track meet and you try to survive on the defensive end by doubling. And it just looks so much cleaner tonight. And there were several give and goes with Stolke and O'Grady passing to each other, setting each other up under the rim. Stolke did very well 3 or 4 times, especially in the second half, of recognizing when O'Grady was getting the double team when the Virginia Tech post was out with foul trouble, and recognizing that she had an open rim run. And that was really nice to see. Lucy Olsen is a very, very capable basketball player. She is really, really good and very, very capable handles and really can get anywhere she wants to go on the court. But with that being said, like, her as the focus of the team is very different just visually to Caitlin being the center of the team. Because when Caitlin's the center of the team, you have a lot of possessions where, Caitlin end up a lot of games with 10, 12 assists, but it's one pass possessions. It's Caitlin up top. She's getting a screen and she's dishing to a big, or she's kicking out to somebody and it's a shot. There were a lot more, and I think there's potential for a lot more, like 4, 5, 6 pass possessions where you end up getting some really good looks in a very different way than Caitlin was able to generate them for Iowa. And I think that's something that we can really look forward to. Now, I don't know that they have a lot of, kind of like you said, people that are capable of orchestrating the offense outside of Lucy, but they do have a lot of capable passers. I mean, you tweeted about the Stremlo pass. That was absolutely gorgeous. Kylie's a capable passer. Lucy's a capable passer. Hannah, for a post, I thought did very well tonight and has in the past as a passer. So they have several capable passers. I think it's just going to be a different style of basketball slightly than last year and the year before, just because you don't have that generational player to center your entire game plan around.
When you watch Kylie feeding Addy and you watch Sid, who's not played a whole lot here since not really played at all since her procedure. This is her first actual game action of the season. Same can be said of the freshmen who are brand new to this. But you see Iowa at times in this game, especially early. It felt like Iowa was rim running a little bit better than maybe late. I'd still like to see Hannah Stolke utilize the shot fake a little bit more inside. Sometimes she kind of determines that she's going and she gets away with it, draws a lot of fouls. But at times, I think a shot fake would really do her well. I don't know how much, the shot fake is emphasized with this staff. It doesn't seem like that's something that Iowa, the women's game, does a whole lot. That seems a little odd to me, but maybe Tasheen can answer that a different day. But there were just times where Iowa was able to get up and run. But then as things slowed down and Virginia Tech buckled down in that second half defensively, slowed Iowa down, in the half court, they were able to turn to Addy O'Grady, who had clear outs and was able to catch those lob passes, and those were placed on target. Those things have been an emphasis, I'm sure, not just with Addison, but with the size of Ava Hayden. So I think we're going to see a bit of that give and take based on how teams match up, how they play Iowa. Today it was kind of a tale of 4 quarters. The quick start from Iowa in the first quarter, second quarter, Vatek kind of slows things down, makes a push. Then Iowa gets going in that third. And, Virginia Tech kind of made a push in the fourth, but it never really felt like it was going to get close. Ringo here in the chat, this is kind of what I'm talking about. 26 points in the first, 22 in the third. But then in the the second and the fourth quarters combined, Iowa scores total.
Yeah.
So you could say inconsistency there, but they held their own defensively throughout that stretch. So, yes, they're going to need to shoot the ball better. The stats rolling across the bottom of the screen are the stats. 6 of 17 for Hannah. And in response to Asphalt Hoops, who's kind of giving me a hard time for making the comment that I didn't think Lucy played all that well, she was the 3rd leading scorer in the country last year, only trailing Caitlin Clark and Juju Watkins. She is a very good offensive player. She got an excellent mid-range game. She's very deliberate. She's very deliberate when she's behind the 3-point line. She's got a variety of different ways she can finish. And I'm looking, I don't have those stats on the bottom ticker here, but for the game, Lucy Olsen was 9 of 21. I'm just saying she can get to the line more than 2 times. All right, she made one of those. She can have a better game than 9 of 21. That's all I'm saying. She's one of the best scoring guards in the country. So this is all relative to what we expect. And we knew there was going to be a heavy burden, a heavy load placed on Lucy Olsen. And believe me, she handled it just fine tonight. I thought defensively she was really good. I'm just saying she can be better. And I think she knows she can be better than 9 of 21 and 1 of 2 from the foul line. She's never going to light it up from outside. And she gave them, a variety of, she gave them 4 assists, 6 boards, had the 4 turnovers. But we found this out from Caitlin Clark. When you have the ball in your hands that lot, you're going to turn it over at times. And there were a couple that she would like back, but she can play better than she did tonight, but did what she needed. And this team buckled down on that end, and Ryan brings up the boards. How about the rebounding?
Yeah, I was going to bring that up next. Plus 17 on the boards and 14 offensive rebounds, too.
That may be the biggest number. Now, Virginia Tech is, I don't want to say woefully undersized, but when you lose Kitley, they are undersized, okay? But Iowa, I continue to refer back to the strengths of this staff. Not that they haven't always had the strength of Jan Jensen being able to coach their 4s and 5s, but now with her being the head coach, you bring in another post coach in the offseason to assist as an assistant. If they can figure out a way to be a good rebounding team, they don't have to be great, but good, because they really haven't been good, Kyle. Yeah. They really have not been good on the glass. But that's one thing. If you can get a slightly better defense in the half court, slightly better rebounding, maybe substantially better stats on the glass, and pair that with freshmen who will continue to develop players that will, as Stolke and Afalter and Lucy all play together more and more, they're all coming off some kind of injury hiccups in the offseason. This team has a chance to continue to get better. And I do like the fact they get a buffer now. They get Toledo. Not that you can overlook Toledo, because they could go lose that game, right? This is a young team. They can go lose that game at home. But you get that game, then you go on the road for a more raucous environment. This was kind of a road game tonight. There were more Hokie fans there than Hawkeyes.